Hi, it's Win. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'm the inventor of the Evolution Home Gym. If you're an inventor yourself and you want to bring your product to life and you just don't know where to start, this is the channel for you. So make sure to subscribe so you can follow me in my evolution journey. In a recent video, I talked about the conceptualization of your big idea. It's also called ideation, which is literally defined as the process of coming up with ideas. I also said that we tend to overcomplicate this process, and it's actually one of the reasons why many aspiring business owners, creators, or inventors never have the opportunity to leave the starting line. I said that this part of the process could be as easy as being aware to what's being said or done around you, or asking the right questions. Now, some of you have reached out and asked me to elaborate on this concept, and asked me to talk about other methods of coming up with ideas. So I thought I'd just make a video to make the process a little bit easier. Before we begin, I wanted to quickly share a side note with you. I wanted to quickly talk about the brain. I think it's fascinating. If you've ever seen an image of the brain, you'll see that it's very, very distinctively split into two sides, the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. The left hemisphere is responsible for controlling the right side of your body, but more importantly, it's also responsible for controlling your logical thinking. So things like your sciences and your maths. I find that as a society, we're really good at focusing on the growth and development of this side of the brain. On the other hand, your right side of the brain is responsible for controlling the left side of your body, but most importantly in this context, it's responsible for controlling your creative thinking. Now, I find that as a society, we're very good at suppressing this side of the brain. Now, I can rant about the education system forever, but I won't. We're not going to talk about that, especially in this video. The point of all of that was to say, if you're finding it difficult to unlock your creativity, it's not necessarily your fault. We've really been trained not to think creatively. Anyways, I can promise you though, if you do the right things to stimulate that right side of your brain, the floodgates will open and the ideas will come. I can also promise you that not all of your ideas will be good. In fact, some of them will downright suck. I know, mine did. Before I begin elaborating on the different methods of coming up with ideas, I wanted to quickly talk about the different tools that I use to capture these ideas when I do have them. Now, personally, I'm a writer, so I always have a notepad and a pencil within arm's reach. I mentioned in another video that the evolution came to me in a dream. What did I do? I reach over, grab my notepad off of my nightstand, and I jot it down. So again, it's always within arm's reach. If a notepad and pencil aren't for you, that's okay. Everybody has this handy tool called a cell phone, and every cell phone has some form of notepad. So if this is better for you, I want you to pause this video right now and create a new note called Ideas. And from now on, every spark or every idea that you have, no matter how good or how bad you think it is, I want you to jot it down. Let's move on. Let's talk about my methods of coming up with ideas. I want to step back and talk about questions again. And with that, I want to share with you one of my top secrets. I like to look for signs of frustration, and I like to follow up with 3 questions that all start with the words, would it help if? So number 1, would it help if this product existed? Number 2, would it help if there was somebody who did this for you? Number 3, would it help if there was something that made this easier for you? These questions begin a whole different mindset. Of course, these are my questions. Feel free to use them, but also feel free to come up with your own. For example, think of something as simple as a shopping basket or a shopping cart. They may seem simple and obvious to us because we literally grab for them every single time we go to the grocery store today. But remember, these products didn't always exist. Back in the day, before they existed, I'm sure it would have been frustrating as hell to go to the grocery store and buy any more than 10 items at once. But somebody asked that important question. Would it help if there were products that existed that helped you carry more than 10 items at once at the grocery store? And that's how they came to life. Now, what about that brown sleeve that goes over top of your cup of Starbucks? That simple product literally exists because it sucks to hold a hot paper cup of coffee. Actually, come to think of it, one of my biggest frustrations in life is misplacing my wallet. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm notorious for misplacing it. I don't lose it, I simply misplace it. So, if one of you out there happens to come up with an idea of how I can track my wallet, you've got yourself a customer. Another highly effective way to trigger your creativity is to change your environment. If you're always in the same places, hanging with the same people, you're always going to be subject to the same stimulus. Something as simple as going to a new coffee shop or reading a different genre of book may be enough to help you cook up some new ideas. So make it a habit to go to a new place at least once a week. Even if that means something as simple as taking a new route to work. It can be that easy. But again, none of this matters if you're not doing them and practicing awareness at the same time. I do want to keep this video short, so I will end it on this note. Get a broader perspective. And this does kind of tie into the environments, but talk to new people, learn about them, learn about their histories, learn about their experiences. There are so many valuable nuggets that can come from these conversations. And travel. But I mean really, really travel. Learn about new cultures. Learn about their way of life. What do they do that we don't do? What are their struggles? Words cannot express how important this is. That's it, guys. Those are my top 3 methods of coming up with ideas. Of course, there are more, but those are my top 3. So, number 1. Find frustrations and ask questions that begin with the words, would it help if? Number 2, change your environment. Change the places that you hang out and the people that you hang out with. Number 3, get a broader perspective. Talk to people. Travel to new places. Learn about cultures. Find their struggles. And that's it, guys. Do these things and the ideas will start flowing. Oh, and talk to kids. If you have kids of your own, nieces or nephews, hang out with them. Spend time with them. If we still had an ounce of the creativity that they have, this would all be too easy. And by the way, if one of you guys does come up with an idea of how I can keep track of my wallet, let me know. You've got a customer. I'll see you next time. Make sure to subscribe so you can follow me in my evolution journey.